This is African American History is American History.
I want to tell you a story that comes from a place of strength, history, and of possibilities. This is a story about someone who thrived against all odds. Joan Elizabeth Murray was a trailblazer, a woman whose story is as much about her groundbreaking achievements as it is about the strength and perseverance that carried her through the challenges during a time when Black people, and Black women specifically, faced blatant discrimination and very limited business opportunities. With that said, Joan Murray would become the first Black female television news reporter in the United States, a title that only begins to tell her extraordinary story. Born on November 6, 1937, in Ithaca, New York, Joan was raised alongside her twin sister June and younger sister Rithma Jane. Together they would navigate the complexities of life. Joan's life began in a small town, but her dreams were anything but small. She always had a keen sense of what was possible, even if the world around her was slow to recognize it. Her path to becoming a media pioneer wasn't smooth. Many doors that should have been open were locked. But Joan didn't stop knocking. She pushed forward with grace, dignity, and tenacity. In 1959, Joan found her first major opportunity when she was hired by CBS Television Network to work in their press information department. It was a new chapter, and Joan quickly made her mark. She was involved in publicizing landmark events, from the visit of Russian Premier Nikita Khrushchev to the United States in 1959 to the televised White House tour by Jacqueline Onassis in 1962. For Joan, these events weren't merely pivotal moments in history. They symbolized a unique opportunity to prove her worth and make a lasting contribution. At CBS, Joan's talents and hard work didn't go unnoticed. She eventually became a production assistant for Candid Camera, where her natural charisma made her a perfect fit. But Joan wasn't content just behind the scenes. She wanted more. She was determined to step in front of the camera, to make a difference, and to represent a community that was sorely underrepresented in the media at that time. And so in 1963, she made the bold decision to leave CBS, taking a job at NBC as a writer and on-air commentator for Women on the Move, a daytime show hosted by Kitty Carlisle, which featured stories about family, home, and fashion. After its cancellation in 1964, Joan wrote a letter to CBS highlighting her qualifications and expressing her desire to become an on-air news broadcaster. This was a pivotal moment, and it wasn't long before Joan returned to CBS, this time as the first Black female television news reporter and anchorwoman in the country.
This is African American History is American History.
For Joan, This was more than just a job. It was her calling. In an industry that often dismissed the voices of people of color, Joan's work was a triumph of perseverance and professionalism. Her voice was calm and assured, and was a testament to the countless women of color who had been overlooked in the newsrooms all across America. As the first Black female television news reporter, Joan faced many challenges, but she was undeterred. Her presence on the airwaves was more than just a groundbreaking achievement. It was a symbol of progress in America. She became a beacon of hope, showing that if she could make it in an area where so very few looked like her, then others could too. But Joan's story didn't stop there. She wasn't content with just one victory. Over the course of her career, she would go on to earn numerous accolades, including the Mademoiselle Award for Outstanding Achievement, a Certificate of Merit from the Urban League, and awards from the National Council of Negro Women. These awards were a testament to her exceptional contributions to television, but they were also an acknowledgement of her role as a mentor and trailblazer for future generations. Joan was not only a respected journalist, but also an accomplished aviator. She honed this skill while filming the 1966 CBS Eye on New York documentary called The Small Plane Boom. Later that year, she competed in the Transcontinental Women's Air Race as a co-pilot, making history as the first African-American woman to ever participate in the race. Joan was once again defying the odds, proving that barriers could be broken both in the air and on the ground. She even became the official WCBS TV news reporter for the prestigious race. In 1968, Joan published The News, an autobiography and a guide to television reporting. Her writing was just another way she could share her wisdom, helping to shape the next wave of journalists who would follow in her footsteps. She also took her passion for change to the political realm, offering advice to New York Governor Nelson Rockefeller's Committee on Employment of Minority Groups and Women in the News Media. Her entrepreneurial spirit came to the forefront when she co-founded Zebra Associates Incorporated in 1969. This advertising and marketing firm, which focused on Black, Hispanic, and other minority consumer markets, became the largest Black-owned and managed agency of its time. It worked with major corporations and advertisers, proving that Joan wasn't just making a name for herself in media. She was reshaping the entire industry. Joan's international impact was felt through her work with the U.S. Department of State, where she reviewed and recommended films for distribution in Africa. She also embarked on an international lecture tour, sharing her knowledge and experiences with people across the continent. Even as she traveled the world, Joan's roots in Ithaca remained firmly planted. She later returned home, where she donated her personal archives to the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture, preserving her legacy for future generations to study and admire. In the years that followed, Joan led a rich and varied life, from serving as the Director of Public Relations and Media Communications for Western Park Hospital in Los Angeles, to running a fragrance and skincare boutique in Beverly Hills with her husband, Richard L. Atkins, a real estate developer and building contractor in Los Angeles.
This is African American History is American History.
Joan passed away on December 18, 2021, at the age of 84. But even that's not the end of the story. The lesson here is not about fame or awards. It's about perseverance and knowing your worth, especially when others don't see it. Don't be afraid to take risks, to fail, and to try again. Joan faced countless obstacles, but she never let them define her. When the world tells you no, let that be the fuel for your fire. So, as you keep pushing forward through this world, remember Joan's story, how she never let anything stand in the way of her goals, and how she saw every challenge as just a new opportunity for growth. She proved that one person truly can make a difference in the world. Joan Elizabeth Murray was more than just the first Black female television news reporter. She was a symbol of what it means to keep pushing, keep believing, and most importantly, to keep dreaming.
This has been African American History is American History. The episode you've been listening to, the inspiring story of the first Black woman to report the news on a major TV network, was written and directed by Harlan Kearsley. The voice actor for this episode was Kim Bay as the storyteller. I'm Harlan Kearsley, and on behalf of everyone involved with African American History is American History, thank you for tuning in. And if you haven't done so, please like, comment, and subscribe to the show. Thanks again, and please stay safe. African American History is American History. Copyright H.C. Kearsley, 2025.